give it a check. We are currently having some weird issues within OBS. So we'll make sure that we're actually live. What? No, stop. Are we live? We are live. Cool. Awesome. Oh, it looks like they updated the system and that's why OBS's widget is broken. YouTube added new things. I can set goals for super chats. Interesting. Will I do that though? Probably not. All right, give me a sec. I'm going to check Twitch and make sure everything's running there. Oh, I'm going to hit the button on Twitch first. Boop! Twitch button! I got to boot it up. Make sure everything's running live. Oh my god, it said last live last year? That ain't right. Yet. But we are good to go. Chat only. Boop. Nice. We are up and running on both Twitch and YouTube. Hello world! Oh, I probably should open my drink before I started now. You know what? While we're here, let me look at this goal thing. Okay, set a goal to engage with your audience in a new way. Once you reach your goal, you can celebrate. Huh. I didn't know super chats were different colors based on what you were doing. Bro, one. We'll give them 2 hours. Celebration. Nope, we did not. We caught. There was so much that all the cool stuff is what DM Shin wanted to talk about, and then we couldn't. Oh, thank you. You didn't have to do that. All the cool stuff was stuff that DM Shin wanted to talk about, and then he couldn't make it. And we felt so bad. But yeah, you're right. We didn't actually move at all forward. Do any ads actually pop up? I don't. I think I've hit the button. I have a button on the Stream Deck to make an ad play, but I think I've hit it maybe 4 times in the whole time. Oh, it sucks. I figured if I don't hit the button, they won't come up, but clearly that is not the case. Startup ad. I didn't even think about that. Boo! I don't know what's going on, but the command that my headset is sending to change the volume is freaking my computer out. So I'm not gonna do that. Okay, good to know. What will our celebration be? Oh, that's hard. I don't know. Oh. Papa Bezos will fight tooth and nail for just a single, like, percentage of a penny. My goal's live. Oh, I hit the button. Okay, that's fine. I don't care. Oh, it actually shows up? Interesting. Wasn't expecting that. Oh, but I'm gonna do this when the other DMs talk about the channel ads. But I'm going to whoop. Let me switch this real quick. Oh, whew. This is gonna be a thing. But I don't know who is our super fan in the UK, but they bought a shirt, and I just want to say thank you. And I can't believe out of all the cool designs that DM Lacara has added to the Redbubble shop. Oh no, I'm already. I haven't even hit the. I'll be crying when I turn on the camera. I mean, whatever. But I don't know who our UK superfan is, but they did buy a shirt, and I can't believe out of all of the shirts that they went and bought, that they could have gone and bought, the one that they bought is the one that just reps the channel. And like, I don't know, I came home to that after spending the day out. I get the email that someone bought a shirt that's just like the logo for the channel, not even any of the funny joke ones that we've come up with for DM Roundtable, and it made me real happy. And I also wanted to show off that I too have one of those shirts. I am not going to cry, but I do have them. I think it is this one. Yeah. Okay, I gotta mess with this because it has AI on. I don't want the AI on. I want to zoom in, but to my shirt. Okay, guess a little zoom out then. Oh, I can't? Well, that's annoying. Ugh, I'm gonna fix this. I have to aim this stupid thing right at the camera. And now it doesn't want to do it anymore. Is this as low as it goes? Is that why? Probably. But they grabbed one of these shirts, and they're so nice, and I have one too. They got it in bright green, though, which is not a choice I would have gone with, but that's for them to decide. They can rep whatever they want. That was our first shirt sale. I have no idea who it was, but then I was mentioning it to one of our old guildies from Rumble Fighter. It's like if you've been hanging out on either, I think it was way before I was on Twitch, but on my YouTube channel, I used to make tutorial videos for the PvE sections in Rumble Fighter, and one of our guildies from way back when, she just opened up her Patreon. She's making custom Sim 4 content. I asked her what link she wanted me to share because I'm gonna make a shout out. If you get like, if you do stuff for me, I'm gonna do stuff for you. Duh. And she goes by Qmira on Patreon, and I'm not sure what she goes by on Sims Mod Database, but she opened up her Patreon, and then I was like, yo, someone bought our shirts. And she bought one of the shirts, and it's just like a full circle moment. Now I'm going to cry. It's just like a full circle moment. This person that's like been hanging out with us for like 15 years was like, I can buy a shirt too. And I was like, you don't have to. And then she did. And she's also the first paid level patron on Patreon. And didn't have to do that, but definitely gonna give her shout outs. I'll put her links in below when I figure out which link she wants me to share. The one that I can share, I gotta put that in the description. I did not put that in the description yet. I have her Patreon link. I can give out her Patreon link for sure. Oh, and she did send me a link to the Sims mods database with her thing, but I didn't go because I don't play The Sims. But I sent it to my friends. I have to look and see if you can look up the author of a mod that way. I don't know if you can because I've never been there. I thought it was ModDB, but it is not. I at least have some understanding of how ModDB works. But yeah, shoutouts are nice. It really is. Ouroboros of goodwill. And it makes me so happy, and I don't know, gives me a little hope for the future, you know? Sometimes all you need is just like a little hope to make everything better. I know for sure that oh my god, excuse me. Sorry. Excuse me. I don't know what's happening to my insides. They're roiling because they're not used to kindness. But I know DM Shin's gonna be a little late. DM Lacara is usually a couple minutes late, so at 8:05 I will start. I don't know if I have anything else. What up, Joker? It's just, like, I have no clue who the person in the UK is. I have no clue who bought it, but they want to rep me, and it's so nice. You never know. The Great Kieran Uprising may be soon. Oh! Do I have it? No, not yet. But I did I kickstart everything that Dragori Games makes because they just make amazing board games with like 10 billion minis. And I think it's Odalin is the third game that they made. So they did Arena the Contest, and then Arena Tenera's Adventures. Yeah, and then Odalin, and then Arena Tenera's Expeditions. But Odalin has... I'm going to get a Kieran Dragon mini. That's the one that has it. I don't have that one yet. I have all the stuff for Arena and all the stuff for Tenera's Adventures actually in the room next to mine. It is a 13-foot tall pile of things for this one board game. My plan was to unbox it all and then get a Kallax shelf or Kallax shelf equivalent, because that's like the board game size shelf, and put all that stuff there. And that didn't happen, so I never unboxed it, and it's still just a 13-foot tall pile of stuff that I gotta go through at some point. What's the latest Warframe, Joker? When I get... Hello! How are you?
Oh, I would have been here 5 minutes ago, but my kid clotheslined themselves on my leg coming around a corner and face planted on the hardwood floor, so...
Oh, poor baby.
It's all good.
That's okay. Kids heal fast.
Yeah, it ended up just being a bumped knee, but there was a split second there where I thought it was like a true face plant, and like there was going to be blood all over. There was not.
I think we only have one... No, I was going to say we only have one person who's unlucky enough to break their nose every time he gets hit, but I think there's actually two. One of the guys we used to work with, he's the one that we always refer to as Baby, me and DM Shin. The other day, he sent me and Noxer Kama a message, and he was just like, "Oh, yeah, I broke my nose again." And we were like, "Huh?"
Again?
And he was like, "Also, I got rhinoplasty this time." And we were like, "Huh?"
Wow.
And we were like, "How many times have you broken your nose?" And he was like, "Oh, like every time I play basketball." And we were like, "Why are they hitting you in the face with the ball? They're not your friends."
How bad are you at basketball?
They're not your friends.
I have only... My nose has bled from being hit, but I have not actually broken it.
Same.
It's just too big and hard. It's a beak. I have a beak. But the one time that someone hit it and it bled, I did not know that because it didn't really hurt at the time or after, weirdly, but it must have broken some blood vessels, and I like just started pouring blood.
Hey.
And the person who hit me turned like real white And I was like, dude, what is wrong with you? And he was like, your face. I was like, what the hell? And I was like, oh, I'm bleeding. Okay, I guess I should go deal with this.
If we're on this topic, so Awa said they lost a tooth from a bike once. One time, my
I hate bikes.
one of my best friends growing up, we were on the bike path, and I went over this hill, and I flew, and I went over the handlebars, and you know, like when you're in like extreme danger, like time slows down.
Yep.
So I went over the handlebars. I'm in the air. I hit the ground, and when I hit the ground, I landed like palm and hip first. So, like I have a scar on my hip, but my palm had like no skin on it for months. And
I remember the story. Yep.
And my family, like, we're not big hospital people, so my mom just like taped some gauze to my hand for months, and my friends had to write my notes. And
Yep.
But like when time slowed down, I hit the ground. I was there for what felt like, I'm gonna say, like a whole minute, and I'm lying there, and my thought was in slow motion, "Where's my bike?" And then it hit me.
Yep. Yep. Wait, your bike hit you?
Yeah.
That's just wrong. Bikes are look. 3 points to find a plane. I do not understand having something with fewer wheels than a tricycle. I stand by it. I will never understand it. And bikes have done very bad things to me. So I am with you there with losing the tooth. That's not bikes are just not a good idea.
So you know how they say like you, I'm gonna make words one day. That was all the words were gone. I'm trying to send hearts to Joker, but the chat won't let me. That is okay. Oh, I can edit the reactions? Interesting. That's also a new feature. So if any of you are going to use OBS, YouTube changed the widget for streaming. Sorry, what do they call them? Lives. So now there's a goal thing, and you can change what emotes you can pop up. And it broke within OBS. So assumedly they're going to fix that at some point. But I wanted to send some hearts because you're going to romance Owie, and that's a good choice. Also, whoever is the Nyx proto frame, also a good choice. Oh, there's too many facial injuries in this group. Ouch. I know Shin's going to be late, so I figure we can start with that. I just went and told people the good news, but I'm sure I'll tell them again later, and I'll probably cry. So I'd rather not do that again right now. Let's save it till the middle.
Yeah. Oh, Owls, that does not sound fun.
I think about how terrifying it is to like hit things with the blade of your mower. When we first moved here, our neighbor was like the angriest old man, and he came over and started yelling at my mom. We used to have we had a walk-on mower when we first got here, and my mom was out mowing the lawn. The neighbor came over, like he had never said hello to us, what have you. He just came over and he was like, "Hey, you have the blade too low. You're gonna break that thing, or you're gonna injure someone. So you should just turn it down." But he was like screaming at her. So my mom took that as some man just yelled at me, and she didn't hear any of the words. And then like 2 weeks later, she's on the mower, and like everyone could hear the of metal screeching. And
oh no,
she like hit the blade on something and like deformed the whole bottom, and we haven't had a walk-on mower since. But every time she's like, "I can't believe I came to this house and some random man came over and yelled at me." And I was like, I mean, he was right though. You could have at least
also,
listened to the
you kind of have to
words.
yell to be heard over those things,
Right?
Like he may not have been yelling angrily. He may just have been trying to make himself heard.
Yeah. It's like he did his best. We didn't listen.
Yeah.
He did his best though. But yeah, we've got spells to go through.
Yeah.
I'm looking at the slider for like how far on a page you are, and I'm like, yo, you guys can't see it because it's actually pushed off the page, but it's more than halfway down there, and there's a lot of pages of acknowledgments, so we might actually be able to do this.
We can do it.
I also realized
we just need to like, maybe I'll set up like a little timer for us, like 3 minutes per spell or something.
Okay.
Around.
This is, I just realized looking at this that the way that it is arranged, it is like left, right, then down, and not like one column and then the next to read. So it's first and then under that is third, but to the right is second. So we're just going to go to Archibald's blowtorch first.
It's so confusing. Okay.
I was like, meh, okay. Just realized that now. However, I'm thinking that Archibald's blowtorch should be a spell that possibly our artificer in your campaign should learn.
Yeah. Look,
even though he has so many tools, I just want his fingertip to be like swoosh.
He's like Inspector Gadget.
Yeah.
Look, I do not. And if he ever listens to this, like, he knows how I feel about this. When he first created his character, he came to me and he's like, okay, so you know how I sat down with each of you and did like a one-on-one to go through your character and like flesh it out and fit it into the world? So I sit down to do his with him, and he's like, so I want to do an artificer. I'm like, very cool, very cool. He's like, I'm gonna do a human artificer. I'm like, less cool, but okay. He's like, and he's missing 2 limbs, and I nerfed a lot of his spells. And I'm like, oh, you what? And then he walked me through his logic for why he shouldn't be able to do ranged spells as an artificer, which are built into artificing.
Yeah.
And I'm like, how are you intending on making this work? I mean, to be fair, he's been playing a lot longer than me, and there have been 0 issues with him in combat. So, clearly, I was the one talking through the back of my neck.
Yeah, hey.
I just could not quite wrap my mind around creating a character specifically to nerf them.
The weird thing is, the only other time... Actually, no, the 2 other times I've seen a player or potential player want to nerf their character, both times it has been an artificer.
Yeah.
The guy who got me the job at the beach, he's playing in a campaign where his artificer can only fight when he has his armor equipped, because all of his offensive abilities are infused within his armor pieces, and he basically can't do anything when he's doffed his armor. I was like, yeah, okay. And then the other one was a guy that did work at the beach for a little while, and he wanted to play an artificer that currently has a piece of his last great experiment lodged in his head, so he's dumb. And I was like, hey, I think yours makes more sense than the guy who got me the job.
What is it with people making artificers that have disabilities?
Yeah. I'm starting to think it might be a kink.
Seriously, what are the chances that you know 3?
I
thought our artificer was just going out on a limb, no pun intended, but like, I really didn't think this was this common.
Oh man.
Did someone do this on like Critical Role or something and we just don't know it?
Oh, I used to know this character's name only because it became like accidentally started a firestorm. Because is the character that's in the combat wheelchair on Critical Role, are they an artificer?
I have no idea. I don't do Critical Role.
Somebody tell
I
us.
don't know.
They might be. That might be why. You may be 100% right.
I do not have any issues with people creating artificers with disabilities. I'm just wondering why it seems to be so exclusively artificers. Like, I don't see it like so many of like your Charles Xavier like wizard in the wheelchair kind of things nearly as much as I see artificers with stuff embedded in their heads or missing limbs or whatever. So
That's true. If you need the tools, you got to make them, I guess.
yeah.
I guess. Okay, my only like issue with Archibald's blowtorch is that it defeats or it goes against the naming convention that D&D has always used, where it's creator's last name or character's name, adjective, noun. There's no adjective now. There's no adjective here. There's got to be an adjective.
Hmm. Oh, it's a very, very cool spell.
I love a person who puts in, hey, this is what's going to take to go through these materials. Thank you, Archibald.
I think it should be a funny adjective.
How about Archibald's meticulous blowtorch?
Oh, meticulous makes it sound even cooler. I either want some like alliteration or a humorous adjective.
I also like that this one is wizard, and it helps fit into my kind of like the way that I design my world, where the artificers and like the elemental wizards and all them people who are studying the same things, they go to different schools, so they hate each other, but they do the same shit. It's just a rivalry for no reason. Same shit, different name.
Look, I work in a field full of that. It's real. Lilliputian. Archibald's Lilliputian blowtorch.
Oh, that's great. I'm gonna put that. No, I need a new page of notes. I'm making the noises because I literally will use a pencil until you can't sharpen it anymore, so it's really tiny right now.
Oh my god. Like a golf pencil?
Yeah. So trying to get it to write around the three things that are in front of me is incredibly difficult.
Yeah.
But the next one. This is the one I think everyone's gonna want for some reason. Just a guess. Ooh, blasphemy. You can go, maybe depending on like what your style is. Itty bitty. Oh my god, these are both great. If you're tiny, like depending on something related to your character, you add it in there so people think it's a different spell, but it's actually not. So like if you're into death and what have you, it's the blasphemous blowtorch and the flame's black. And if you're itty bitty, it's like rainbow colored from each of your fingertips.
Oh.
But here's Archibald's deployable turret. This is what you all came for, we know. It just works is also good. I also love the idea that it's the tiny folded up metal trinket. Like you're doing the Aoi does it in as the mag proto frame. She has like little sheets of metal that she folds into origami.
That's cool. I had no idea what the string of words was you said before that. Usually when somebody says something, I at least have a clue what medium it comes from. That one was just words.
This one's for Warframe. I was gonna use a magic reference because in the Japanese theme plane Kamigawa they have the same thing, but I was like, no, I don't think Emily's gonna know. I don't think you'll know either of them.
Nope.
Might be.
No clue what any of that means.
But I'm thinking
Is it a
of like,
game?
yep, Warframe's a game.
Okay.
There's a okay. Help me out, Joker. Warframe takes place in like the far future, sort of, but there's like a paradox that happens because there are creatures that live outside of time, and they sort of slipped in and took the form of this one guy, so they messed up time, and now there are three separate timelines that are all technically happening at the same time, but within their own universes, they're different times. And so originally there was just the one where you're in the far future and everyone has like this super cool exosuit, and one of the first ones that came out was Mag, and it's got magnetic powers. And so in the third timeline takes place in the year 1999 in basically our world, and there's an apocalypse that's about to happen, but there are versions of the super suits that are just people that have been experimented on. So the one that would be the magnetic exosuit is a girl that plays with like sheets of metal and folds them into origami.
Does she have like special magnetic powers?
Yeah. And also she can shoot electricity.
That would be so cool. Yeah.
But I was thinking for this, it's either that or oh my god, what is his name? Mandrake the Magician from the comics in like the 60s. He hangs out with the Phantom, but he's one of the defenders of the Earth. He literally folds up his house like it's a piece of paper and takes it with him.
That's cool.
And he's like, home is where the heart is, and then he'll like throw it out of his pocket and it'll unfold.
You have no idea how much I wish I could actually do that.
I understand you. Yeah. There is a lot of confusion with Warframe. Yeah.
It was an afterthought. Was it one of those where it was like, oh, we have this great idea, but we can't set it in this time. Let's make an alternate universe.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. So this is the turret. It's got its own stat block. This is something I've talked about many, many times, and it's something I've literally spent like 4 hours on working today and yesterday fixing up something. But I love to give like a little bit of, you can consider it like a pre-built AI for your characters or your creatures when you're running them. Like, I like to do either 1 or 2 sentences of what's this character's motivation, and then when I'm running them, I look at that and I'm like, oh, they would do this because of that. But if you know that this guy's just going to be in combat, you might as well give them a what will they do. So in this case, Archibald's deployable turret has focused. It always attacks the closest enemy within reach unless you tell it not to. Sometimes you need that to be like, what will this dude do? What is his job?
Yeah, really not enough. I don't know. I go back and forth on this because I think a lot of things should be more directed like that in the stat blocks. Like, look, if you want it to be smarter or you have a specific setup for it, just ignore it. But like, I think a lot of the monsters and things, especially if they have like pack tactics or something, should have more rules for like their mode of attack. Do they pick off the one person hanging back in the fight? Do they go for the tank? Do they like attack in twos? Like, just something that gives you, because it gives you flavor, it also makes the DM's life that little bit easier to work with. You know?
Sometimes you get scared when you have okay, this is gonna sound mean. I didn't intend it to be mean, but the way my players laughed about it, it turned out to be incredibly mean, but one of my players, you all know and love him, Grimjack, he doesn't pay attention during the session, like, at all. And so we were running a combat where there were so many people in the combat that my players finally let me arrange the enemies into groups, because they've yelled at me before that everyone needs to have their own spot on the initiative. And I was like, that's ineffective. That's going to take forever. And my players were like, no, I don't like it when one character's different than the other. I have to know where they are on the initiative. And I've been like, fine, whatever. But there was like 30 people on the map. And I was like, can we just put them in groups? Just do them in groups and I'll just go. We'll go from there. And my players let me do that. I'm like, awesome. But there were still like 30 people on the map. In the middle of combat, he goes, hey, I found something for you. Why don't you just go look at this link? And I had gotten up to I needed 3 condition rings because that just happened to a group of people on the map. They just got confused. I've never looked at the spell confusion, so I have no idea what's going on. And I was like, okay, I have to go find these condition rings so we can put them on these guys. And he tells me to look at this thing, and I go, I will not. And my other players just started dying with laughter, and I was like, I can't look at it now. Do you know how many things I'm running through in my head right now?
What was he even looking? Well, no, I don't want to know. We've had this conversation before.
In this particular case, he was apparently sent me a website where you can go if you play video games to join. It says it's a job site, but it's not really. It's really like a social media platform for people who want to test video games but have not. And I was like, I don't really need that right now. I appreciate it.
You got enough on your plate.
Yeah, I'm like, I don't need that now. No, they did not. But a Nilbog, in case you're wondering, can cast Confusion once per day, which seems like something they should just always be able to do. I get that it's a high-level spell, so they can only do it once a day, but they can cast Tasha's Hideous Laughter as many times as they want.
It is one of my favorite spells.
So good. Oh. It is so good in both D&D and Magic. In Magic, it makes you throw away like a fifth of your deck.
I didn't know it existed in Magic.
It's so fun. Especially when you double it.
Is Tasha originally from Magic?
No. She's Baba Lasaga's daughter in the Forgotten Realms lore. And
yeah.
She also, I think she's in Princes of the Apocalypse because 2 of the demon lords, she built the the Demonomicon in D&D lore because she got to live in hell for a really long time. She was banging one of the demon princes, but she made it so that she technically owed her soul to 2 or 3 of them. So they fight over her, and they can't ever actually get her soul.
That's so smart.
Yeah, I thought Baba Yaga was like a public domain name, but I guess not, because they're calling her Baba Lasaga, and I'm like, that's weird. I know who you are. You have a house with chicken legs.
I mean, Baba Yaga absolutely is from, like, Central European folklore. Like, I do not think WotC can lay claim to that.
Oh. She's also one of those characters that, like a demon, or I guess technically also devil, if you know her true name, you have power over her. So, she has like 15 different names. She's also technically an archfey. Not technically she would be based on her mother, but she also has her own. Oh, I forgot what they're called in the Feywild. She has her own court.
Mm-hmm.
Like that she did all on her own because she was tired of dealing with demons. I'm bored. She has every power ever. And I'm like, why has no one been like, I need her to be my patron? She has every power.
That seems like it should have its own thing, like the labyrinth.
Oh, yes.
I need to work on that, by the way.
I was actually thinking of talking to you about that. I might have to make a third like technically she would be Archfey just based on her lineage, but she did it all on her own instead of going alongside like the hags, which is crazy that you have that much power. She's been everywhere, done in many senses of the word, done everything.
So what did you want to? Oh, do you want to talk to me like offline about the?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
I don't know what my third level of the dungeon that of the trials I've been working on was supposed to be a puzzle, and I wanted it to be gravity based, and then I was like, what if I just make it a labyrinth? Like, oh, okay. But that's probably for another episode. Big wink a la Agatha all along. 100%. Yes, that should be her new title. The uberest of witch bitches. She is also a huge bitch, so yes. Oh, speaking of gravity, the next spell on the list is... Wait, I'm just gonna go... Okay, they're not actually in order. Just that first page made sense. The rest of them don't make sense. They're all arranged randomly. I wish you wouldn't do that. They're not arranged... they're not arranged by spell level or alphabetically, and that just... that's my ick. But there's Archibald's gravity well. You shoot a lead ball, and then it hovers and wubs. And in this case,
Is
it's...
that a technical term?
Yep, that's the technical term. Wub. For each 5 feet somebody tries to move away, they have to succeed on a strength check or be unable to do so. So it doesn't actually like pull you in. It just makes it harder to move. Much harder to move. I wish it pulled people in. Sort of like oh, there's more than one god or goddess in Smite that does this, but I know Newt is the newest one, the Egyptian god of the sky. She like throws a black hole, and when it pops, it like sucks you in. I guess technically it should suck you in before it pops, but I think in her case it sucks you in after it pops. This is great for like CC if you just want your players not to be able to move. Like, woof, no, stay right there so I can wail on you. But I feel like it just needs a little more. Oh, this is also one of the ones where this says instantaneous, but I think you could make this a minute concentration to have it really make sense. I think that Adventurous Gur doesn't understand that you have to write that a duration like extends, because there are other spells that say instantaneous, and then later on it'll be like, oh, on the second or third turn, and I'm like, wait, what?
Yeah.
So I think like this one should be concentration a minute or something like that. Because if it's just your one turn, it literally does nothing.
Yeah.
I guess the only way it does something is if you're playing where everyone moves at the same time.
Yeah.
But that is just chaos. That is absolute chaos.
Yeah. That's a terrible idea. I like this spell. I might use this spell.
I was like, if anyone's going to use non-Dunamancy, I keep having this argument with Grimjack specifically. He's like, we need spells that are gravity-based. It just needs its own school. And I'm like, well, Critical Role has a school for it, but there's no official school. It just fits into one of the other schools. There was way back in the day a school that had time and gravity. I think it is, but we don't use it anymore. But Critical Role calls it Dunamancy. It's like, you don't necessarily.
Why Doom?
I don't know. You know what? I have no idea.
It's just, it doesn't make sense.
Oh, no, I don't care about RPG bot. No, I know what they are. Oh. Oh, because it's supposed to be potentiality and actuality? Is that what Dunamancy is? I don't know. I understand Chronomancy. I get that one.
Yeah. Like, why not call it Gravimancy?
Or like Graviturgy. Graviturgy is what they used to call them, I'm pretty sure.
Graviturgy sounds terrible.
Yeah. I understand. Yeah. Oh, I scrolled down.
I mean, yeah.
No. What were you going to say?
It reminds me of stuff from Sanderson, but like nobody is gonna bother translating that into 5e at this point because he just kickstarted his own system.
True.
Although it was bonkers expensive.
Even the minis for it were so expensive. They looked real good, but I'm not paying like $30 a piece for a regular mini. You know how many minis I can get?
All I wanted was like the rule books, but like the rule book, like a physical copy, but like the rule books came with art books, like you couldn't get one without the other. And it was like hundreds of dollars. I'm like, I am not spending this much money on this. Like, I'll wait for someone to resell it in like, a year or so after it comes out. Like,
yep. Nah.
I don't even have people to play it with. Like, there's no rush.
I know. I had one of my Valley of Egeria, she's going to play her first session. It's either this week or next week with the campaign that she's going to run. And we had this discussion where I was like, I don't think I'm ever going to not have players. I just don't have the time to play. And that sucks. But I was going to say, I scrolled down far enough on this page to see someone asked Matthew Mercer, who came up with the Dunamancy spells, most likely, because they're from Critical Role, like, oh, can you just give them to anyone? And we're here to tell you, a DM Roundtable, if you see a homebrew spell and it's not for your class or what have you, or if you see any spell and it's not for your class, talk to your DM. There may be a reason why you can use it, and they'll let you use it. Just talk to them.
Or they'll tinker with it and then give it to you.
Like, yeah. Maybe they change the element or they change the range on it or something. Boom. It's in there.
And if you have a DM that you take something to them and go, hey, is there a way we could make this work? And they just categorically go, no. Find a new DM.
Also true. Also true. I don't know why there aren't more jokes like that. Like, oh, the Archbishop Newton created gravity. Like, there should be more canon jokes like that. But there aren't, which sucks. The next one's Blunt. This is a 5th level spell, and I hate it.
Why do you hate it? Tell us. Explain this.
You choose up to 3 creatures within range. A creature must succeed on an int save or have the weapons it is currently holding blunted. Non-magical weapons instantaneously and irreversibly become useless. They can no longer even be used as improvised weapons. Magical weapons have their magical properties removed and count as improvised weapons for up to 3 turns.
Yeah, that's terrible.
I hate we've gone over so many things in DM Roundtable that change the game fundamentally by being like, hey, The game is now break all your opponent's weapons.
Yeah.
No, let people stab other people.
It's like, look, if you want, like, to make it blunt, just make it so that they have to go find somebody to, like, or a whetstone or something. No one's gonna bust out a whetstone in the middle of a battle. You've still effectively taken them out of that battle.
And like this one specifically, if you're making an int save, that implies that they believe their weapons are blunted. But
Also true.
You're actually reality warping their weapons. You're taking the blade off of their weapons. That is not the same.
Yeah, what is it that you're trying to... What, they're trying to be smart enough for you not to blunt their weapon?
Yeah. I guess the only one you could do is a con save and have it like really make sense. Or I guess deck save and
Yeah, just dodge a beam of it or something.
Yeah. If you moved out of the way, maybe. But int save implies that they just believe they don't work. That's not what's happening here. That ain't what's happening here.
And also, wait, why does it say irreversibly become useless? Read the next paragraph. On a success or after 3 turns, automatically the weapon regains its magic and sharpness. Oh, that's for magical. Okay.
Yeah, only if it's magical. Okay.
But
the fact that you can't... Oh, they count as improvised. Sorry, not that they don't count as improvised weapons. But, I mean, yeah, why not? I don't know if any of you have played... What was it? Lies of P? It's the Soulsborne where you're Pinocchio. Don't ask. But your weapons get blunted as you're in battle. So whenever you fight a boss battle, you have to stop, pop open Pinocchio's. I guess technically it's a whetstone, but it's like a Brooklyn Rage. Yes, precisely. Not a whetstone. It's actually a blade sharpener. He has it in his elbow, and you have to stop hitting whoever the boss is to sharpen your blade mid-combat. And I hate that. I hate that idea.
Yeah.
I want to live.
Like, why would you add grit into a game?
The only game I'm gonna say that's fine in is like Dark Souls 1 and 2, where people can they basically throw acid on you and it makes your weapons break. But that's because in your backpack you have like 700 more weapons. I can't even come up with like a role play idea for this. Where like, oh, I'm saving you guys from the rust monsters by blunting your weapons. They're still gonna eat it.
Yeah. I think this spell would be totally fine if it lasted for 3 turns, regardless.
I don't know what P has. He has a weird body. I mean, he's also a puppet, who I guess technically becomes a real boy at the end? I don't know how it works. I'm not gonna... I feel like that's not a spoiler because you're Pinocchio, and that is his whole shtick.
Yeah.
We have another 5th level spell. This one's Cloak of Iron. Which sounds cool and makes me think of... there's a spell in Dark Souls 1 where you literally, like, you blow iron dust up in the air, and then you, like, let it shower down on you, and it makes all your skin metal, and you are slow as hell, but it is almost impossible for someone to break your poise while you're like this. And I just love doing it when, like, a huge monster is attacking me, and I stomp my heavy ass over there, and then they hit me with, like, their giant tail, and it just bangs off, and I'm like, I'm the best! but this one is it's a 5th level spell that you can choose up to 4 people, including you, so you and 3 other people. You get 10 temp hit points, and when someone knocks off your 10 temp hit points, shards of iron splinter off, and people around you take 10 piercing damage. This is the weakest 5th level spell I think that has ever existed.
Yeah. Yeah, it needs to be bumped up.
And like, you don't even get to be slow. You just have a thin layer of iron floating around your skin. I need this to be cooler.
Yeah, there should be like if for 5th level spell, they should be taking 10 magical piercing damage every time they hit you for however long. It should be a duration.
This is another one that's like, oh, hey, this takes time, but instantaneous.
Yeah.
Okay, hear me out. What you just said, put it on, or even this is some, what are they? They're not schools. What are the monks? Monastic traditions. Where their school thing is Cloak of Iron. They make themselves iron so they get this defense, and then they hit harder. And like they can shape metal around they're basically metal benders. They shape metal around
I'm
their
like, you're
limbs.
talking about tough.
Yeah. Basically. They're metal benders.
But no, absolutely. I could totally see this being an entire like monastic tradition for monks. You know, if they were still allowed to have flavor.
Yep. And why doesn't it raise your AC?
Also that. Like, by the time you're casting 5th level spells, even if you're a wizard, I feel like 10 temp HP is not that great a deal.
Maybe if it was 10 temp HP, but when it shatters, you're hitting someone for 50. 5d10. Maybe. Yep. But you get 10 extra health to do 10 damage? You could probably hit them with your stick and do 10 damage.
It's so true.
This one needs a buff. I won't say it might be the worst one here, but
it ain't the best.
Yeah, it's definitely not the best. It's not the worst we've seen, but it ain't the best. Next we have a cantrip, which is super cool, and it's a lightning cantrip because there's not a lot of lightning, oddly enough. I have other spells like this in the repository that I would prefer over this. But Conductive Arc. Actually, would you like to talk about Conductive Arc? I've been doing a lot of talking. I feel bad. It's for you now.
That's okay. You know I like pitching in from the sidelines.
I know.
Well, this one's a cantrip. Alright, so this should be fun. Artificer, Sorcerer, Wizard. You draw electrical energy from the air around you and channel it into your fingertips. I have thoughts on that, but let's not get into it. Make a ranged spell attack against a creature you can see within range. On a hit, an arc connects you with the creature for a split second, and the creature takes 1d8 lightning damage. Regardless if the spell hits or not, your movement speed is increased by 5 feet till the end of your turn. And then it goes up by 1d8 at 5th, 11th, and 17th level. That's not bad. That seems fairly balanced. I like something that gives more lightning damage.
Yeah.
You know, as a cantrip.
I don't know what it is. Maybe it's because it's called Arc. I'm just like, I feel like this needs some kind of weird, flavorful reason. But as far as cantrips go, 1d8 lightning and you're a little bit faster is pretty freaking good.
Yeah.
If you want some lightning in your life, this is the one.
Mm-hmm.
You want to take Flame Walk too?
Sure. Can you scroll down a little? Second level, evocation. Traverse up to 30 feet of ground in a straight line, leaving a trail of flame in your wake. You don't provoke opportunity attacks, but you cannot move through other creatures' space.
We're gonna ignore that grammar.
I can think of. Oh, that's not what I was thinking. I was thinking there are few times that I can think of that people would be more likely to let you go by them than if you're trailing flame behind you. The fiery trail remains behind you, depending on the distance traveled with this spell until the end of your next turn. If anybody crosses it, they take 1d6 fire damage. I mean, okay, and then if you upcast it, you can go further. Okay, so you can only go in a straight line. And it doesn't do anything other than make some flames. Unless somebody is dumb enough to walk into it.
Yeah.
And
it only
if they
lasts
do,
one turn.
right, and it only does 1d6 fire damage. It doesn't even say that it's like enough fire and smoke that it basically makes like a wall, like you can't see through it, where it would be like a tactical thing to cover like your trail or cover your allies or something. You can't bend it. You can't make a closed shape with it. Okay, I'm struggling to see the utility of this.
I'm also realizing it says the range is 20 feet, but you can go up to 30 feet. That doesn't make sense because it comes from you. It's self. It's yo feetsies.
Yeah, range should be self.
But I understand this particular thing from a roleplay standpoint. If you have a speedster that you're fighting against, and he's like, your team will not walk past this line, and he runs on the floor. But like, I wouldn't make him waste a spell slot for that. And at second level to only possibly do, I guess they're banking on you doing it right in front of an enemy squad. Like, if they came at you in a phalanx and you ran in front of them. But if they're not in a phalanx and you can't run through other people's spaces, this is useless.
This also doesn't have the usual wording for like it sets other things in the area on
Right?
fire.
No ignite. Yep.
Like that would make this useful. That would be like, oh, you're in the bad guy's woodworking factory or something. There's sawdust everywhere, and you use this and then book. Like,
I have a technically better spell than this already. That actually I made myself, based on an item that I gave to. So I started with Lost Mines of Phandelver. Yeah, you might as well just pocket sand them at that point. It probably will. There is a spell for pocket sand. It's in Victorian Orphan Magic. But
and pocket salt.
Oh, and pocket salt. You're right. We have I started with Lost Mines of Phandelver, so we found the Forge of Spells. Forge of Spells is not supposed to work in canon. In my game, I have it's changed by the Spell Plague, and some people can infuse their own magic into it if they haven't studied to like infuse things normally. So it is easy for a sorcerer to put their magic into the Forge of Spells to give magic to some item because the magic is within them already. But other people, it usually just poops out across the room. But one of my players, he's a fire genasi. Oh, it's DM Bacon. DM Bacon is a fire genasi. He's a fire genasi shadow sorcerer, so he has two different magic pools to pull from. And he wanted to put fire in his boots, so I gave him Jet of Flame, where you can release a jet of flame from the soles of your boots, propelling you in 20 feet in any direction, assuming that you have a surface to propel yourself off of. And the way we do it is you can go up, you can go diagonal, you can go forward, but you're still going to, like, you can slam into people, or you can use it to, like, catch yourself and what have you. This is better. It's also a second level spell. You might as well just do this. You can go anywhere. It doesn't have to be on the floor.
Yeah, that is better.
I put conjuration. That should be evocation. You are shooting fire out of your feet. I should fix that. I'll fix that later. Oh. Speaking of things that you just can't, there's no reasoning for, I'm going to let you read. Impossibility. This is a 9th level wizard spell. It's not even for artificers.
I saw that and like this should be interesting. Okay. Components. Oh, I always love it when there's a long components line. A wooden cubic frame, a bracelet made of black steel, and an onyx worth at least 2,000 GP. This had better be a really good spell. You create a 5-foot cube. It's a 9th level spell, and you get a 5-foot cube of something. Of impossible terrain within range. You must be able to see the space where you create the cube, and all. Okay, let me stop you there. It's a 9th level spell called Impossibility. I don't need to be able to see Jack. Okay. And everything just gets moved if it's in the way when you make it. The cube appears as an entity of complete blackness, and absolutely nothing can pass through it. No amount of force can move the cube, and not even the most powerful magic can dispel it. A wizard is only able to uphold one such cube of impossible terrain at a time for those times when you just feel like burning 9th level spells. Should they cast the spell while another cube of their making exists anywhere, the older cube immediately vanishes and then the new one appears.
That's it. That's the whole spell.
The only thing that's impossible here is that somebody made this 9th level. I loved the first half of this so much. Like the first half of the supplement. Like the wheels fell off in the spells, man.
Yeah, the spells are they're not great. They're not great at all.
They're rough. To be completely honest, I would not make this like more than a 4th level spell.
I think exactly the same. And this is more. The only possible reason you would use something like this is if all that separates you from imminent death is a doorway.
Right.
And you pop this impossible cube in that doorway spot. But then them dudes are going to break through the walls.
Right.
I cannot see a single use of this at all.
Oh, that's funny because I can absolutely see a reason that your ranger would use it.
To separate me from the elementals?
To put in front of the portal.
Ooh. I assume they're all bigger than 5 feet, though.
Sure, but if you made a traditional portal, like, this doorway on, Midsummer's Eve or whatever, like, that I could see being a way to, be like, guess what? Put a cork in it. But still, I mean, it's as good as you're around for, or until someone casts a wish spell. I mean, it does say not even the most powerful magic can dispel it, so I guess that would prevent even. Can you block another 9th level spell with a 9th level spell?
If anything, if I did give this to one of my players, if I said, hey, you can have Impossibility, this 9th level spell, and they happen to be able to cast 9th level spells, if anything, I would be angry that they wasted a 9th level spell. Just to be like, I don't even need that spell slot to beat whatever you're going to throw at me.
Yep.
This one's booty!
I'm just not, that impressed.
Yeah. So far, the spell's not hitting. Too many in a row that aren't hitting. Will Shard Swarm take us back, though? Do you want to take Shard Swarm?
No, I just read like the last 3.
Okay. Here's a 3rd level. We're back down to normal spell levels, I guess. This is for artificers and wizards. A vortex of metal shards appears in a 5-foot cube at a point you can see within range. It's basically... Oh my god, what is
there
that?
already a spell that does this?
Cloud of Daggers.
Yeah.
It's slightly more powerful Cloud of Daggers. A creature that starts their turn... Except... No, it's the same thing. Except you can move this one. Cloud of Daggers. Old Cloud of Daggers you can't move. I think 2024 rules you actually can move Cloud of Daggers. But this one does slightly more damage. It's 64. You can move it. And if someone does get slashed, there's a chance they get knocked prone.
Yeah. I think that's legit.
It's slightly better than... Cloud of Daggers. And this one, you can definitely just, if you're the artificer, especially like if you're the artificer that's using deployable turret and you just have a bunch of folded up metal, that's like what appears. It's just, or you could even have your, instead of it says they appear in that 5-foot cube, maybe you fling them like frisbee discs, like shuriken. And they just float there. And then you can pretend that like you're Magneto and you're holding them up.
Yeah, you have one hand out, it's like shaking slightly.
That's exactly what I was acting out.
That's the fun role playing, because then like you have the enemy being like, oh no, okay, we gotta take that guy out, and then you distract them or whatever, and it doesn't even matter.
And this one's doubly cool because you can move it like through people. So it's not like Cloud of Daggers where you just plop it on whoever the biggest guy is. And you hope that someone keeps them in that spot. This one you can be like, and throw it through people and then like pull it back. That's cool. So you can hit a bunch of people. It is definitely better than Cloud of Daggers. Oh. Here comes silver bullets. I'm not owing because I'm a weredeer in your campaign and this would hurt me. I'm owing because I hate this. I just hate the way that this is done. This is for sorcerers and wizards. You transform the earth used in the casting of this spell, so you need a handful of earth and a drop of silver, into 4 bullets made of pure silver. The bullets share a pool of 60 magical piercing damage. You have to designate how much damage each bullet will deal, not exceeding the sum of the total damage in the pool. Then you make a range...
I don't like this because there's math.
Yeah, there's so much math for no reason! Then you make a ranged spell attack for each bullet against a creature within range. On a hit, the creature takes exactly that much damage, whatever you decided. Creatures that are vulnerable are also vulnerable. That are vulnerable to silver obviously take silver damage. But I hate this because you have your 4 bullets. You can say, hey, I think my first shot's going to hit. I'm going to put 57 points of damage in my one shot. And then you miss. And then the other 3 do 3 damage. Also, it says...
Why would you be that dumb?
I know, but like, I don't understand the appeal of separating the bullets out before you shoot them. And it also doesn't say how there's like it says they're fired, but from what? It doesn't say you fire them, it just says they're fired. Do you make like a, I guess flavor wise, are you conjuring a gigantic revolver or something like that?
Spectral gun.
Yeah. Like I need more. But sorry, what's your what's your thought for separating the damage pool manually?
I was thinking this is for like, say you guys are fighting like 3 or 4 lycanthropes of whatever ilk, and like one of them's already taken a decent amount of damage. 2 of them are like lightly scathed, and the other one has not been touched yet. It's that you're not like it's not magic missile. You're not hitting everything with the same like couple of points, you can weight it so that you may not need 15 damage to hit the one that's already on his last legs. So that way you can split it up so that the one that's on his last legs, you hit it with, maybe 5 or 10. And then the other ones, you can weight more heavily and do more damage. I think it's clunky. I can see the use for it, but I think it would slow down your turn in a not very immersive way.
I did not put silver bullets in my repository. Mostly for the math thing, because I am not waiting for either me or my players to figure out how much they want to designate. They don't even pay attention when it's their own turns most of the time.
You're on deck. I'm what?
Our favorite was, hey, this is your group. And then another player goes, hey, it's your group. Then another player goes, hey, it's your group. And everyone's just looking at Grimjack. And then we go, bro, is your turn. And he's still ignoring us. We're like, what could you possibly be looking at that you're ignoring 4 people around the table yelling at you? What are you looking at?
Don't ask questions you don't want the answer to.
It's true. It's very true. Especially at my table. Do you want to take water to lead?
Sure, that sounds alchemy.
I hope this
Alchemical.
summons DM Shin. DM Shin? He's not Korean. DM Shin. There we go.
Jim, I'm just thinking a thin piece of wood. Okay. 2 vials, 1 of water, 1 of lead. You draw all moisture from the air and turn it into droplets of liquid hot lead that rain down in a 20-foot cube within range. All creatures in the cube must make a dex saving throw. They take 2d6 fire and 2d6 poison damage on a failed save, or half as much on a successful one. I like this. Wait a second, this does 4d6 damage. And it's a 2nd level spell.
This is like baby's first ice storm.
Baby's first ice storm. Yeah, I like this spell. It's a good spell.
The only thing I don't like about this is the upcast, where whenever you upcast it, the damage increases by 1d6 fire or poison, your choice, for each level that you go.
Yeah.
I get that they're trying to even it out, like not make it too powerful, but that's just confusing because this is such a low level spell. So someone's not gonna, nobody's gonna pay attention to that. I have players with reactions.
You have to take like your own special notes on like how you leveled it up.
Why keep doing so much math? Why does everyone love math so much?
I mean, it's a nerd game.
It hurts my brain. Would you also like to take True Alchemy?
Yes, if this doesn't summon Shin, nothing will.
It's true. That's exactly what I was thinking.
All right. True Alchemy, 7th level transmutation. Pinches of fine metal dust of all of the following materials. They better all be metals, or I swear to God. Worth in total 1000 GP, which the spell consumes. Lead, tin, iron, copper, mercury, silver, and gold. Okay, they are all metals, but mercury doesn't come in a dust.
I was just thinking, isn't that like how you kill people?
What? Mercury dust?
Yeah. Like if you...
I mean, it would be, but you have to make an alloy. Mercury by itself is liquid.
Hmm.
It's one of like 3 metals, liquid at room temperature, slightly above. You draw on the entirety of your knowledge of alchemy to transmute all matter making up a creature into solid gold. Wow. Okay, choose a creature you can see within range. At the start of its next turn, it must make a con saving throw against your spell save DC. On a failed save, it is restrained as its flesh begins to harden and permanently turn into gold. On a successful save, the creature isn't affected and the spell ends. Wow, that sucks. If a creature fails the first save, it must make another con saving throw at the start of each of its following turns. If it successfully saves against the spell 2 times, the spell ends, but the creature remains restrained. If it fails to save 2 times, it is turned to solid gold and subjected to the petrified condition permanently. All conditions placed on a creature with this spell can only be removed by a wish spell or similarly powerful magic. No. I'm sorry, no. It's...
No. No.
Look, if I'm burning a 7th level spell and 1,000 GP, like, to turn this thing into gold, it had better not be able to evade it with 2 saving throws.
Just one. Once it saves, the spell ends.
Yeah, that's true. The first time if it succeeds, it just ends. If it fails the first time but then saves twice afterwards, you've successfully tied it up. Congratulations. You could have done this with your starter kit.
I mean, yeah, if you want your BBEG to be doing this to random people and then selling them, okay.
Mm-hmm.
But like,
you don't need a spell for that.
Wasting a 7th level...
Yeah.
A 7th level spell slot for a save or suck spell is insane.
Yeah. And to Awaz's point, like, okay, so say you've just turned, a frost giant into gold.
Oh.
Okay, I mean, you made your 1,000 GP back and then some, but what the hell are you gonna do with it?
Oh, he's gonna be so heavy.
Exactly.
Like you trick a gold, probably not a gold dragon. You trick a red dragon who's all about his hoard and turn them into gold. How are you gonna get them out? Imagine trying to get, oh my god, what is his name? Themberchod. The wildly obese, the morbidly obese red dragon from the D&D movie and the one that's down in the Underdark normally. Imagine turning him to gold and then trying to get him out.
I mean, gold does have a fairly low melting point. Still.
It's true.
Yeah, no, this spell has so many problems.
I understand the fear of it. Like, oh no, I'm turning to gold. Like, same fear of being petrified.
Right.
But, I don't know, there's something more menacing about someone turning you to gold. Unless you didn't want that to happen. Like the King Midas problem where it's anyone he touches.
Yeah.
I think there's also a character in Heroes who had that problem. That was their power. Anything they touched turned to gold. And they kept turning their loved ones into gold. But like, there's something menacing about it. But as a player, I ain't gonna waste no 7th level slot.
Yeah. No way.
That ain't for us. We've made it out of spells. We're in magic items now.
Oh, I love magic items.
AWAS shared in the Discord, I'm going to send it to you later, a stat block for the luggage. I don't know if it's the same stat block you use, but they found a stat block for the luggage.
Oh, sweet. Beautiful. Thank you.
Uh,
I do not have a stat block for the luggage because I just created it. Like, I mean, I didn't create it, obviously. It is an invention of the incomparable Terry Pratchett, but it's just kind of invincible in world. Like, oh, I just kind of like.
You figure we're not going to fight it, and even if we do, we'll lose.
Well, I mean, if anybody attacks it, it just kind of doesn't do anything. I mean, if you've read the books, you know that like it is the most durable object in the entire world, basically.
Oh.
Like, but yeah.
Horny wizards in your area are looking for you. That's all I can think of. Listen, they've taken way weirder trophies over time, I'm sure. Is this where my notes? Oh, I don't have I don't have a break here. But basically, we're gonna look at Archibald's Inventions. I don't know why I made him talk like this, but he's talking like this.
It sounds right.
It kind of does, actually. You're right. You're right. Would you like to take on this coat that has so many pockets that women can't have because then you'd hide your romance letters?
What was it for last time? Reagents.
Recipes, reagents, and romance letters.
Thank you. That's the one. All right, what do we got here? We have the workshop coat. This long-sleeved coat made of high-quality tanned leather, don't be redundant, is inconspicuous from the outside, but holds a seemingly unending array of tool sets and places to store them on the inside. That's a woman's purse. Archibald crafted a number of these coats for himself since it happened once or twice that they would catch fire during an experiment and need to be replaced. Okay, +2 bonus to AC, resistance to acid and fire damage. And it comes with 5 random artisans tools, and the inside of the coat can hold an unlimited number of tools. While wearing Archibald's workshop coat, you gain a +2 bonus to ability checks you make using a tool. +2 bonus to AC seems a little high for
a coat.
But it is very rare.
I'm trying to think, for an artificer, they probably have, if you're giving it to a wizard, that's huge. If you're giving it to an artificer, I sort of expect them to have some way to have raised their AC already.
Yeah.
But to a wizard, and for somebody to get 2 resistances in one go, at very rare, that's pretty nice.
Yeah. We'll take it.
So many tools. I think our artificer might need this coat for all of his tools. Was he carrying like 4 different tool sets?
Yeah, he's got a lot of tools.
Oh, and he can make a new tool. He can convert one of his tool sets to any other tool set. It just takes an hour. That's crazy. So many tools. All right. I'm going to leave... No, where is it? Oh, Sprite. I'm definitely leaving Sprite in a bottle for you. I know you want to read that one. I'll take your Jacket of All Trades, though. While wearing this jacket, you gain a bonus. Yeah. While wearing this jacket, you gain a bonus to all skills you're not proficient with, equal to half your proficiency bonus. So this is like the Bard ability where they get half proficiency in everything. And then you have 3 charges. You can expend 1 charge before or after making a skill check using a skill you're not proficient with to automatically roll a 10 on the check. The jacket regains 1d3 charges at dawn. This makes you a bard.
Yeah.
But also, this is Jacket of All Trades is how gang wars start. we thought it was the Bastion. It's someone manufacturing these and handing them out to people who should not have skills, but now they have
Yeah.
lots of skills.
Yeah.
Oh no. Everyone here can pick locks now? Oh no. Oh, I really want... I love the Poisoner's Crossbow. I feel like this is something that both Shin and my Grimjack should use. Just in general.
Yeah.
Do you want to take the Poisoner's Crossbow? And you can see, oh my god, what is his name?
Oh.
Calcifer.
Yep.
Sorry, Sindrid.
Absolutely.
But
It's
Calcifer.
Such a ripoff of the art. Holy cow.
I think I mentioned, I don't know if I didn't, I think I mentioned it in the DM chat, but Grimjack for Christmas, he always gets us stuff that he's kickstarted. One of the things he gave me was this homebrew supplement, or it's just 2 huge books of new spells. And the art on the back is the Planeswalker, the black Planeswalker from Magic, Liliana. Like, it is Liliana. They just gave her a face tattoo and changed her element to ice, and I was like, yo, that's Liliana. And he was like, what do you mean? I was like, this is legitimately this is actual Liliana art. They just gave her a face tattoo and have her conjuring a snowflake. I was like, me and Stefan both have decks with this girl in them. Like, this is Liliana.
All right, well, we'll get to the sprites. Poisoner's Crossbow. Oh, you can make it whatever level you want. This crossbow is fitted with a mechanism that automatically applies poisoned bolts. It exists in different models for hand, light, and heavy crossbows. You gain a bonus to attack and damage rolls made with this weapon depending on its rarity. You can insert a vial of poison into the mechanism as a bonus action, which automatically coats the next 3 bolts that are fired in the poison. As normal, a single vial of poison cannot coat more than 3 bolts. Yeah, that's pretty cool.
It's a characteristically distinct fire demon with no affiliation to animation companies living or dead. I would also say this Poisoner's Crossbow, I would let you put whatever vial you want into it. It doesn't necessarily have to be poison. Just like the only gun that my players had come across before is a rifle that the people who worked at Grimm's library developed that you can pour potions or powders into. And we have people pour sleep powder into it, like the leader of the town guard in their town. And he can shoot you with it, so instead of like the sleep spell that spreads out and you have to deduct people's health from the pool of everyone who's in it, starting with whoever has the lowest, it's just like, if you hit, all that's going into them.
Yep.
So I love anything like that. Give it to me.
Yep.
We don't have Sir Percival's stat block, but we have Sir Percival's Lost Pestle, which is a legendary item.
Legendary.
Wow. Legendary. I'm trying to read I should have read my notes before I got to this point. I was on deck and I was not paying attention. I'm the bad player now. But this granite pestle is inlaid with intricate brass pieces as if the rock had flowed and cooled around them. The name Sir Percival is carved into the stone in wobbly lettering as if written by a child. The pestle provides a +3 bonus to spell attacks and saving throw DC, which is huge, especially because it is not, I don't think it doesn't say it's your spellcasting focus. It's just something you've got on you. Creature attuned to it automatically succeeds on brewing potions and potions, friggin' god dang it, potions and poisons of common rarity, and gains a +3 bonus to alchemy checks to made to craft potions and poisons of uncommon rarity or higher. If a creature is subjected to a poison brewed using the Lost Pestle, it has disadvantage on saving throws to resist the poison. If a creature drinks any healing potion brewed using the pestle, it automatically regains the maximum number possible of hit points.
Wow.
If
Can
you...
we talk about how it bothers me that they talk about it being brewed? It's a pestle. That's
Right?
not what a pestle does. But it is a good, it's a good tool, I guess.
It's one of those items where you could give it to just the spellcaster in your party, but if they're not doing the rest of it, you are missing out. Like if they're not making potions and poisons, you're missing out. It's great to have that +3, especially legendary if you're like in tier 3 and you want that +3 to just have like a buttload of points. Oh, sure, fine. But you'll be way missing out if you don't give it to the person who's actually brewing stuff.
Yeah.
But now, we come down to the Sprite in a Bottle! Our characteristically distinct fire demon with no affiliation to animation companies, living or dead.
The item resembles a mason jar, because those exist in D&D, holding a sprite of one of the following types: fire, cold, poison, acid, or lightning. Are there poison sprites? Is that a thing?
I don't actually know. I also have thought about that. I was like, I guess. Well, I guess if there weren't before, they would have come in with Fizzbons, because Fizzbon gave all of the dragons a special type of minion, and the chromatic dragon's special type of minion is they breathe their breath weapon out, and then part of it becomes sentient.
Wow. Okay, sure. Alright, we got poison sprites. Let's roll. Most sprites have their own personality and sometimes telepathically talk to the creature that is attuned to them. Some are mischievous and will try to convince the player to wreak havoc, like the infamous sprite Sindrid, who was once in the possession of a pyromaniac and has taken on her personality. Wait, which one took on which one's personality? I'm so confused. The sprite in a bottle has 3 charges. You can use an action to cause all creatures of your choice within 30 feet to lose resistance to the element of the sprite. Creatures that have immunity against the element are weakened and instead have resistance. And creatures weakened in this way cannot be subjected to the sprite's effects again for 24 hours. The effect lasts for 24 hours, and the sprite in a bottle regains 1d3 charges at dawn. If the last charge is used up, roll a d10. On a 1, the sprite escapes, leaving only the empty jar behind. A creature attuned to the sprite in a bottle deals an extra 1d6 damage of the sprite's element with weapon attacks, but can do so only once per turn.
I'm realizing now, I didn't realize this before, this implies that you are opening the jar to have this effect happen. But sprites can fly.
Yeah.
Unless
and
they
presumably squeeze.
Yeah. Unless they really like you, like your besties.
Yeah.
They're gonna fly away.
Yeah. I mean, no one wants to be in a jar. Even if it wants to hang around you, it ain't gonna live in a jar.
Yeah, at least get it like a cool lamp or something. That could be your quest. Find a new house for your best friend, the sprite. I feel
that
like
actually sounds fun.
I think that's probably a quest on Obojima. I can almost guarantee that has to be a quest on Obojima. Which is like Studio Ghibli inspired setting. Gotta
Yeah.
be. It's gotta be. There's definitely some of the stuff on here that's pushed to the right, like off the page, so you can cheat. I don't know if you've seen us do this yet, but if you're on Homebrewery, oh my god, I just realized I never shared the link in Twitch chat. Whoops. But you're already here, so it's good. You can cheat by going to view source. And then
Yeah, that's how I always read it.
this is the easier way. I was supposed to share this link in the Twitch chat, but I didn't because I was so taken aback by, I set a goal on DM Lacara when YouTube edited their thingy. I'm gonna make words one day.
Yeah.
Oh, it says it's already pinned. Did I already do it? I did already do it. I'm so good at this. Never mind. But YouTube changed their thing. They added goals to your streams now, and so the goal is always get a certain amount or certain level of super chats. And it was like, now share it with your friends. And I was like, so basically, the goal on YouTube live streams is to say, can I have more money? That's weird. I don't know if that's a goal.
I mean, isn't that the goal?
I guess, but it's weird to be like, look at me! I'm not really a pick me.
Well, speaking of which, since Shin is not here to bail me out.
It's true. I hope he's doing okay.
I will remember this, Shin. It is well past time for us to do our usual pitch. I will make it short and sweet. Hit the buttons to like, follow, subscribe, etc. If you don't have money, there's also a free Patreon tier. If you do have money, throw it at Scott. One way or the other, either subscribing to one of his many things where you give him money, or yeah, go to our Redbubble store. We have a lot of stuff. I'm about to upload the Accidental Necromancer shirt as well.
Here's our one actual shirt on display. I showed off before. Oh yes, I'm wearing it. Oh, it's really hard to Vanna White yourself.
Yeah. But there it is. Yep.
It just kind of looks like I'm jazz handing, actually. I'm gonna stop that now.
Yeah, it kind of does. Yeah, drop the link.
You got it.
The Redbubble.
View shop.
See, your followers are now jumping in. Awaz is helping me out for Shin not being here.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know. No, it still works. It left the question mark at the end of the link, but you don't actually need the question mark.
Yeah, there we go. Yeah, so we've got a lot of stuff we're still adding to it, and
can't wait to look at Exodus.
It's fun. The Redbubble sale's also still going on, so you can get stuff for cheap.
It says 2 more. No, tomorrow's the 17th. I can do math. I assure you. Yep. Mm-hmm.
And if you give us like money, then we can pay for Okami to take a math class. I wouldn't actually do that to you, Okami.
Thank you. Failing calculus 3 times was enough.
Calculus needs to be taught by somebody with more empathy than like any other class.
It is, so in the 2024 rules, I'll bring Steve back up for sure. Love me some Steve. In 2024 rules, when you have your Bastion at level 7, it's level 17. One of the things your Bastion can just do for everyone who lives there is you can get 70 temp HP for sitting in a room by yourself. And we were like, 70. That's a whole... You have a whole max level wizard stuck to your chest. And so we were like, it's got to be somebody small. Maybe like a tiny kobold wizard and a baby Bjorn is just strapped to your chest whenever you leave. And now you gotta... He's gonna take the hits for you. Can you hurt? And DM Lacara was like, he needs a name. Let's give him a name. How about Steve? So this is Steve.
That is our beloved Steve.
I was looking at my notes to pull out the ones because now I have like so many pages of notes out because I'm not actually completing any of my tasks, which is not good for me. But one of them was make a button of Steve. And I was like, oh yeah, I got to make a button so I can pop him up on the screen and be like, would you hurt this little man?
How could you? You monster.
You monster. I was like, all right, I will eventually do that too. Yep. But yes, this is Steve. He's so cute. I can't believe, like I said before, I have my first paid patron on Patreon now, and it is one of me and Grimm's guildies from when I used to play Rumble Fighter way back in the day. They also started a Patreon, so shout out to them. They haven't told me what links they want me to share yet, but there will be links in the description eventually. They do have a Patreon. They make Sims 4 custom content. And they also bought the shirt like I have on that just reps the channel, which made me feel good. But I cannot believe that the first purchase wasn't any of the silly designs like Steve. It was someone also bought a channel reppin' shirt. And they're in the UK, so I have no idea who they are. So UK fan, I asked in the Discord, I was like, UK super fan, are you here? And nobody answered me. And I was like, I don't know who you are, but I love you wherever you are in the UK.
Thank you. Thank you for liking our designs.
Yeah. Makes us all feel good. So good. Okay. Let's get back on track. I do like the idea, but again, like, make a quest to find them a nice home. Why would they want to stay with you if you're basically... I assume the way that it's written, they escape after 3, meaning they don't want to be there. So are you making their sprite effect go off by like shaking the bottle and then popping the top? That's mean. Why would they want to hang out with you?
Yeah. Don't be a jerk. Don't be a jerk to your sprite. It's easy.
Yeah. Be nice. The next two also I feel bad that Shin isn't here for because these are completely unrelated to like anything else in here. They are special weapons for druids. And I guess technically there's alchemy and there's herbalism, so they're related in that way. But like these were made for Shin.
Yeah.
Feel bad, but do you want to take Wax or Wayne?
Oh, that hurts me as a Sandersonian. I'll take Wayne.
Okay. So for Wax, this is a legendary one. If they're weapons, I don't think they count as wondrous items. I'm pretty sure that they're equipment, but whatever. We're going to ignore that. Requires attunement by a druid. It's a sickle decorated with carvings that depict the moon's phases and glow with faint blue light. Anything that glows with faint blue light just makes me think of Sting. So I just immediately am like, oh, druid Sting. But Wax gives a +3 bonus to your attack and damage rolls, as well as a +3 bonus to spell attacks and spell save DC. So presumably you can use it as a spellcasting focus, which we'll get into in a second. But if you hit a creature with a melee attack using Wax, the creature is illuminated by faint moonlight, so you give them a fairy fire type effect. The next attack roll made against that creature has advantage, then the moonlight fades away whether the attack hits or not. A druid can use Wax as its spellcasting focus and is able to perform the somatic components of spells even when they have weapons or a shield in one or both hands, as long as they are holding Wax in one of them. And then it has a special ability, which is cool. If you are in possession of both Wax and Wane and attuned to both of them, Wax allows you to cast Moonbeam at 5th level once per day without using a spell slot and without requiring concentration. And in a weird way, normally things recharge at dawn or dusk. Because this is about the moon, it recharges at midnight.
That doesn't make any more or less sense than any other time for the moon.
It's true. I think Moonbeam is the one that shows people's true forms? Question mark? Right?
Let
me find out.
I don't know.
Yeah, if you're a shape changer, you have disadvantage to save for Moonbeam, and you are reverted to your original form. So if it's cast at 5th level, it's going to do 5d10 radiant damage, or half as much on a failed save. No, on a successful save. Sorry. Yeah, I was like, that's not right. I wasn't right. So here's Wane.
All right. This is a shield in the shape of the waning moon. That's not a very useful shield.
No.
Is made of volcanic rock from the moon itself, slowly formed and reformed by the ever incessant tides. The moon doesn't have tides.
I was trying to figure out what they meant, and then my first question instead became, and this is in my notes, are there volcanoes on the moon?
There were. There haven't been in a very long time, but there definitely have not been tides on the moon.
I figured if I'm going to ask anyone about space, it's going to be you.
I am the space goddess.
Yeah.
Okay, while holding the shield, you gain a +3 to AC. That's lovely. And it grants its wearer an aura of faint moonlight as long as they are attuned to it. Oh, so you don't even have to be carrying it. Dim light shines in a 30-foot radius sphere around the shield, and you can use a reaction to blind a creature that starts its turn in the sphere until the end of the creature's next turn, unless it succeeds on a wisdom saving throw. Okay. I imagine you turn up the volume then. A druid can use Wane as a spellcasting focus, and is able to perform the somatic components of spells even when they're holding something in both hands, as long as Wane is one of them. Is in one of them. And if you are in possession of both Wax and Wane, and are attuned to both of them, Wane allows you to cast Tidal Wave at 5th level once per day without using a spell slot. Okami, can you tell us what Tidal Wave does?
I was going to say, I have no idea what Tidal Wave does.
Okay, no.
I'm going to go find it. That's a spell. Oh, I did look this up before, and I immediately forgot it, because I'm sure my Water Genasi sorcerer player is going to get this at some point. And I was like, I'll just worry about it then. But you conjure up a wave of water that crashes down on an area within range. The area can be up to 30 feet long, up to 10 feet wide, and up to 10 feet tall. Each creature in that area must make a dex save. On a failed save, a creature takes 4d8 bludgeoning and is knocked prone. On a successful save, they take half as much damage and they aren't knocked prone. The water then spreads out across the ground in all directions, extinguishing unprotected flames in an area extinguishing unprotected flames in its area and within 30 feet of it, and then it vanishes. Oh. Your Aquaman or Namor, except the water doesn't need to go find a place to go. It just disappears.
Oof. All right.
Not gonna say no. It's just, that's the way it be. And it's cast at 5th. Wait a minute. You cast it at 5th level, but there's no upcast on this.
You cast it at 5th level without using a spell slot for no reason.
Okay.
Sure.
But now we get into prosthetics.
Oh, prosthetics.
Do you want to take the first one?
Sure. Spellcrafted leg. Oh, they're literally going body part by body part.
Yep.
This mechanical leg grants its owner supernatural dexterity and speed and allows them to step through space itself. What do you usually step through? Possibly stupid question. To disappear from one place and reappear in another instantaneously. It grants a +2 attribute. What's an attribute
I
bonus?
think they meant ability score. They should have gone with +2 to dexterity and just left out attribute bonus.
Okay. An increase to your walking speed of 10 feet, and your maximum jump distance is doubled. You ignore both magical and non-magical difficult terrain. The spellcrafted leg also allows you to cast Far Step once per day, and regains its charge when you finish a long rest. As an action, you can make an unarmed strike with the spellcrafted leg that deals magical bludgeoning damage equal to 1d8 plus your strength mod. You can magical robo-kick someone.
I just like the idea. If my players are going to use it, like, I cast unarmed strike, I'm going to look them right in their eyes and be like, yeah, because it's your leg.
Yeah. You're a monster. A creature hit by the attack must succeed on DC 15 strength save or be pushed 10 feet away from you in a straight line. Okay, I have one very pressing question about this. What if you already have both your legs?
Ah, so there is an answer provided for you.
Excellent.
They're magically enhanced limbs, so if you already have that limb, this thing just fuses into your flesh, which is also body horror. But supposedly this is painless. I mean magic, but I'm gonna freak my players out. It might be painless, but you're still gonna watch it like bore into and meld with your flesh.
Yeah, pain is not the only scary sensation.
Why does it feel like something's crawling inside my arm? Oh, because it is. And it
takes longer than attuning them.
Yeah. It takes 8 hours, so you have to slowly feel it slide inside of you. I don't know. Maybe that's your kink. I don't know. I was gonna say not sexually. I don't know. Maybe some people are into that, being bored into. Yay. And
all I'm picturing is, you know that feeling when somebody like puts an IV in your arm?
oh,
and you're like, there is something inside my arm that should not be there. Just that for like 8 hours.
No, thank you. It also takes 8 hours to remove this limb. So at least you could say no one's gonna like pop it off or anything. It's gonna be there for a long,
which means somebody's just gonna cut it off.
Yeah.
If they want it, they're just going for your leg.
Whew.
Now that we fully horrified ourselves.
Yeah. The next one is the spellcrafted eye.
Yeah, that doesn't sound horrifying.
This mechanical eye hums with the magic woven into it. It provides a +3 bonus to perception checks and your PP, as well as true sight out to a range of 15 feet. The eye also grants either +2 to spell attack rolls and spell saving throw DC, or +2 to weapon attacks and weapon damage rolls. Your choice when you attune to the eye. I don't know. This supplement came out before Baldur's Gate 3, but you can have Volo rip out your eye in Baldur's Gate 3 and put in a magical eyeball that gives you very similar powers. So maybe this supplement may have come out like right when the beta or the alpha for Baldur's Gate 3 was coming out. I don't know when they added that feature, but I know that that is a thing that you can do in Baldur's Gate 3. And I'm pretty sure it gives
That
you
does not.
very similar abilities.
You're using the word feature there pretty loosely, I'd say.
The thing that gets me about this one is that it hums with magic. So that tells me it's vibrating in your eye socket 24/7. How do you sleep?
Oh, that's not what I'm thinking. I'm thinking it's sentient.
Oh, I like that less. I like that a lot less.
It's humming to itself.
Like it's singing a song?
Mm-hmm. Just like something humming under its breath
My
in your
God.
skull.
Oh no. Oh no. I do like the Mad Eye Moody idea of like it looking around for you and like picking targets, but yeah, I
You
don't
don't
know.
want it to have a mind of its own.
No, you don't. Mm-mm. Nope, 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 nope. Nope, 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 nope. Nope,
I don't
nope,
know.
nope.
I think that would be fun.
To be fair, I did insect plague inside of one of my players' bodies to make insect messengers that poured out of her over the weekend. So I mean, I guess I'm not that off from body horror myself. Like I can't say, "Oh, I'm not into that weird stuff." I'm apparently into that weird stuff.
Yeah, that's one of the more horrifying ones I've heard recently.
I got problems. Why
Why do you sound so happy about that?
I don't know. I don't know anymore. You're gonna find him in parts. What you're gonna find.
Yeah.
Would you
Yeah,
like to
maybe these are all parts of like a sentient thing from some point, and now its parts have been scattered.
I up until you said it, I hadn't thought about it, but maybe it is just one. It's just like a couple dudes that were ripped apart way back in the day.
Yep.
And if
Somebody
you
made like a robot Jeeves, and
yes.
then it's just in pieces now.
Oh my god, yes. And if someone equips all of the body parts, it will overwrite them.
Yep.
You said trickster god specifically. The in the Forgotten Realms lore, the goblinoid pantheon, the leader of it currently, he killed all the other goblinoid gods except for like 2 or 3 that now work under him. But one of the people that he killed is the goblin trickster god, and supposedly all of the nilbogs that exist in the world have like a piece of that goblin trickster god's essence within them. Like that's what's powering them. And I like to think of the idea like if you get all of them together and you push that spirit out, he can reform. And I can only imagine the hijinks that he'll get up to after spending so many years broken into 100 different pieces. There is revenge to be had.
Mm-hmm.
But
Oh, can you check the red bubble? I just went to upload the new design and got all the way through adjusting all of it, and then it logged me out and won't let me log back in.
let's see. Dashboard question mark? It looks like oh wait, no, I'll check to see. I'm going to the shop. It still says 11. Does it have a... You would think I know more, but
Nope,
I
it
don't.
did not post. Okay.
Does it save as a like a draft? I haven't even.
I don't know.
You would think I know these things, but I don't. Ooh.
Know it.
What?
What's up?
I was
You
gonna
sounded
say,
excited about something.
it was said the Goblin Trickster God and the Halfling Trickster God should go out for some fun. I was thinking of I had explained this to my players way back when that according to like the origin story of all the main races that are on Faerun, um, each of them they got together in like a big meeting when it was just their gods before they made like really their people, and all of them got together and they decided that they were going to choose where their people would live. And they decided to play a prank on the orc gods. And the reason the orc gods are always mad is because they took all the places that you could go. There was literally nowhere left for the orcs to live on the map. And they're like, haha, isn't it so funny that you have nowhere to live? So the orc god, he poked holes in the map to make caves, and that's where his people had to live. And like all other gods think it's so funny, but he's just so angry all the time. And I can understand why. They took all the places to live.
That's terrible.
And I had this argument with them because like I don't run, even in the Forgotten Realms, the orcs currently, there is a whole like huge community of them that are not warlike. Even before 2024 rules kicked in, where they don't have aggressive anymore, they've never had aggressive. Blah 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 blah. But there's a new set of orcs that like just want to live, and they work with the dwarves that were in their area. They're like generally good people. They have like chosen, and they have a bunch of spell scars, and they have exarchs that like have done great deeds for everybody, not just orcs. And that's the way I've been running them. That like there's those are the orcs that are dealing with the goblins, who are basically the bad guys in my campaign. And my players always devolve into like societal kind of arguments, like, oh, these guys sociologically have to deal with this and this and this. And I explained to them, like, part of the reason the orcs are always angry is because they had no place to live. Like, wouldn't you be angry if everybody else got together and was like, ha ha, you can't live anywhere? Like, I can totally understand why they'd be mad.
Yeah.
Oh, the new ones, the 2024. Everyone is so happy in the 2024 books. Everyone's just so happy. Why would they become adventurers if they're so happy?
Mm-hmm.
Makes no sense. Do you want to take spellcrafted arm?
Sure. Alright, let's see what we got here. Although clearly distinguishable from a real arm by its appearance, it is no way inferior to its flesh-based counterpart in terms of functionality. The arm grants a +2 to strength. Your carrying capacity is doubled. How high up your arm does it go?
I was also wondering that. Like, what if you carry things on your back?
Yeah, that only looks like it does like a couple of straps above the elbow. That's things don't just get lighter on your forearms. You need okay. Well, all right. The spellcrafted arm has 3 charges. You can spend 1 to cast Thunderwave at 3rd level, or 1 to cast Archibald's Blowtorch. You can expend 1 charge as an action to release a cloud of smoke from the palm, which encompasses a 10-foot radius sphere with you in its center. The area within the cloud is heavily obscured, and it regains 1d3 charges when you finish a long rest. I would have thought that it would have given you something like spider climb or some sort of like
Ooh, a
thunder
climbing
punch.
speed.
Yeah. Yeah.
I would give this there's a, I think it's in the repository. I mean, don't get me wrong. I love the idea of, I love the idea of smoke bomb in your palm. Freaking love it. Not sure why you would need it here, but I do love smoke bomb because ninja. But where is it? I think it's literally called Thunder Fists. Is it? Is it? Let me look. Nope. I don't know what I just typed, but I didn't like it. Thunder Fists. Oh, there's Thunder Punch. That's. Oh, because there's two of them. But yeah, these Thunder Fists, where you just like smash your fists together and they get imbued with like an orb of lightning, and you just punch the crap out of people.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I like that idea. I'm hoping more paladins take that. Just like, and then you're just like, you're just punching people with lightning fists. I love that idea. I think that would probably make more sense than the smoke bomb pellet.
Uh-huh.
But I'm not going to take away smoke bomb pellet. Clearly, somebody played Sekiro and was like, yo, this prosthetic arm can do really cool stuff. Smoke bombs are cool. I totally get that, man. I don't think this particular artificer would be doing that. Especially if the other option is Thunderwave, which like everybody in town's going to hear you Thunderwave. I don't know if the smoke bomb is really going to help you.
Gee, I wonder where they are. Could it possibly be at the center of that cloud of smoke? Only one way to find out.
True, true. Yeah, you're right. If it was like if it had like an aperture in the palm itself and you could be like and shoot it out somewhere, I think that would make more sense than it like shooting down straight at the floor.
Yeah.
But I understand smoke bombs. I like smoke bombs. Okay, so we're at a different section now, but do we want to leave that for next week's episode? Also, speaking of that, are we going to do next week? Are you okay next week? I know it's close to Christmas.
I might not be around.
I'm wondering if we should postpone.
Yeah.
I do not know about Shin, but I know it is close to Christmas, so I'm like, we never think about whether there's a holiday the next weekend. That happens a lot here. Where we're just like, oh, actually, Shin's usually the one who points it out. He's like, wait, there's a holiday. I'll be like, oh, okay.
Like, oh, there is. Yeah.
Sure, I know what day it is.
Sometimes, if I look at the calendar. Yeah, I never know. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, we should probably.
So we'll take a week off. But the only thing left is Adventurous Inventions, which is essentially teaching artificers how to make new items. And then the last section is the section I think we're going to talk the most about. Actually, there's two more sections. Is how to build your own automaton by this smattering of abilities.
Mm-hmm.
And then giving them passives, offensive and defensive abilities. I think we're going to have so much fun with that.
Oh, yeah.
I'm sure that'll take a whole episode. And then the very last section is a little extra on how to improve all like basic starting items that you could pick up when you go to the store, because once you're out of the first tier of play, like nobody's buying flasks of acid or alchemist's fire because they do no damage. So
yeah,
Adventurous Girl was like, yo, what if we just made better versions of them? And I'm down for people wasting their money, especially when you're at that high a level. You're destroying the economy in whatever country you're in, most likely. With like your change purse, not even your big purse. And if your bastion's just making you money by being alive and starting gang wars, you're going to have a lot of money.
Yep.
So yeah, we will finish next time, but we're going to take a break next week. So we will be back on the 30th of December. Oh, flask of acid for making batteries. See, that's thinking like an artificer. I like that. I like that. But yeah, we will be back then. I'm gonna remember that you put in a vote for the first stream of the new year for 3D printing, because that is gonna be on the list. So we'll definitely finish within 5 episodes, which is good. But we are gonna take a break next week. We will hopefully never have another 7-parter.
Yeah, it was too much.
Yeah. If you're doing alchemy and stuff, I can understand that. But average players, just like, there is. I don't know if it's in here. I thought that there was a. No, we already went over it, I think. Yeah, we already did Lobber. It's one of the. I was actually thinking of this. I'm gonna make words one day. I swear to you all. My players in the combat they were in on Saturday, they were trying to figure out. We had made a joke way back when where you don't technically have to drink a potion if, for story reasons, it's funnier if someone hits you with the potion. So, like in session 3 or 4, one of the first times our first paladin went down, nobody could figure out any way to get him up. One of my players was like, "What if I come up behind him and I shatter the healing potion on the back of his head? Will it heal him?" And we all laughed so hard that I was like, "Sure, it's magical." And that's...
It'll heal the damage you just did by beating him in the head.
Yeah. And so we have this joke now where anytime anyone's like, "Yo, can I just throw a potion?" I know in Baldur's Gate you can throw a potion, and when it shatters, anyone that it shatters the 5-foot radius, so anyone that's around gets the effects of the potion. But normally that's not a thing in 5e. However, I do let them throw potions at each other if they really need to, and they happen to just... One of the players was floating in midair. He got levitated, and he couldn't come down to the ground to do anything. So he was like, I'm going to lob this potion. And I was like, all right. And I was thinking like, yo, we could use lobber from here. This would be the perfect reason to do this.
Yep.
But other than that, they don't really throw things. And I was like, yo, if you get... I said... We had a player who just hit stabilize. They had just made their 3 death saves. And one of our players was like, "Yo, can I throw the potion at them so that they just drink it?" And I was like, "If you give me a 22, if you roll me a 22 or higher on this throw with your dex, Mr. Ranger, we'll say you wing it just right, that the force of you winging it keeps all the potion in the bottle, but the cork's off, and the cork goes just like right in there now, like barely open mouth. That'll be fine." And he was like, "There's no way I'm gonna roll that." And I was like, "I mean, you can try."
What did he roll?
He did not roll a 22. He was like, "Where's my potion go?" And I was like, "I mean, technically, you're still gonna hit. You pass their AC. You're just not going in their mouth." And our paladin was like, "Oh, it's gonna shatter on their head just like it did to me." And I was like, "Yeah." But yeah, next week we will tackle how to... All right, Fist, I need you to do me a solid and get... Sorry, I said next week. In 2 weeks, we need to get Grimbo to come for the next session, because these are how long it takes to make a new invention. And that's all he wants to do. We will talk about these things. Remember, communication is key. Talk to your DMs. Do cool stuff.
And have fun doing it.
Yeah, and have fun doing it. Play your games. Happy holidays, everybody. I will definitely have videos up. I assume Shin will also have videos up. Come into the Discord. Talk shit. Let's have fun. That's all. But yes, we will see you guys. Well, we will see you, players of all classes. Haha, I got it. Players of all classes in 2 weeks. Oh, I did put out a solo supplementals today on magnetic cubes and how you can use them. And actually in the video I talk a lot about other things that I've used to denote height if you're playing in person and you want your players to have visual representations of the height of things. So you can go check that out. That's on the YouTube channel. And yeah, we're gonna knock out the rest of Archibald's archive in 2 weeks. Hopefully Shin will be back there with us. Maybe, since it's the start of the new year, one of the other DMs will come back. Maybe.
Oh.
Maybe. But until then, enjoy your 2 weeks and have fun playing games if you play games. If you like your family, enjoy them. If you don't like your family, avoid them. And yeah. Okay, bye.
Bye.